Once upon a time, in the land of AYP, there were two schools, the old school and the new school. Despite their different names, these learning communities really weren't that different. They both had buildings, classrooms, teachers, administrators, support staff, curriculum, and most importantly, students. Instructors in both districts worked feverishly to deconstruct standards and benchmarks, write I can statements in order to measure student achievement, identify knowledge, reasoning, skills, and product elements within their curriculum, and create common assessments to measure student progress. Yes, teachers in these schools were dedicated to growing their curriculum through an ongoing, never-ending, ever-changing, constant, and sometimes even redundant process of reflection. There was, however, one major distinction between the schools, for you see, one of these professional learning communities had gained access to a powerful new tool known as Moodle. As you will see, this provided them with many benefits. Benefit number 1, continuous communication. For a little while after this new tool was discovered, things went on much as they had for a long time in the land of AYP. Teachers at both schools met twice per month in their PLC groups to review and plan. Even though everyone looked forward to the meetings, there were unfortunate occasions where certain teachers weren't able to attend. Did this stop the intrepid group of educators in the old school? Heck no. Mrs. Responsible would take time out of her busy day to take the meeting notes and make sure that each member of the team received a copy. The team members would then dutifully file away the information. Some of them even had special files just for the meeting notes. Group communication was limited, and progress happened slowly at the meetings, but this is how it had been for a long time, and the teachers at the old school were resigned to their fate. It was about this time that the teachers in the new school made an interesting discovery. With their new tool, they were able to keep track and update what was happening in their meetings and outside of their meetings through communication tools such as wikis, forums, and chats on their Moodle website. This is not to say they weren't disappointed when they couldn't attend a meeting, far from it, but because of their use of Moodle, their group communication was augmented and progress happened continuously, not just at meetings. For some reason, their copy machines lasted longer too.
To communicate among 22 places, I found Moodle to be just a wonderful tool.
Did everyone get the notes from our sticky notes that we had on the wall? Are these minutes the most up to date? And so what Moodle has allowed us to do is to continue that working document.
We've been using Moodle to communicate with classmates and teachers throughout the other classes too, and it's given us access to everyone's thoughts and ideas.
I think it's a great use of time in our PLC. We brainstormed this morning, it was good, we had great ideas, and then Mary here actually today that started putting stuff on Moodle.
I was gone in Fargo for 6 school days, and I was able to talk to Phillips, talk to my classmates about projects, stay more in the loop, and not be worried about missing class time as much.
Benefit number 2, creative collaboration. Being the experienced and knowledgeable professionals that they were, teachers in both schools loved to collaborate. Their hallways, classrooms, and email inboxes constantly buzzed with a frenzy of sharing. Experienced teachers shared resources with new teachers. New teachers shared ideas with each other and experienced teachers. Administrators shared tips with department heads, and students shared homework with each other. Everyone shared with everyone, except for Mr. Grumpy Pants. He never shared with anyone. Everything seemed wonderful until one day Mr. Grumpy Pants pointed out that even with all that sharing going on, there were still some resources that weren't getting shared. That meant that student access to resources was limited and unfair, and that only some of their students were benefiting from best practice. What a downer that Mr. Grumpy Pants is. The new school teachers shared too, but in a different way. They used the ideas generated in their PLC meetings and on their Moodle website to create courses that were evolving iterations of the current state of the best practice in their PLC. All of the teachers at the new school had access to use and modify these resources with their own students. This made collaboration much easier because everyone was working on improving upon their best curriculum. Students had equitable access to materials no matter which classroom they were in, and a transparent curriculum and best practice were available to all students, even the ones in Mr. Grumpy Pants class.
Library Media has found Moodle to be a great tool to use for PLCs. We use it in collaboration among the library media specialists and also in our curriculum development.
And I can edit my own stuff and then collaborate with her in posting stuff on Moodle.
We have teachers throughout the building that are all on a Moodle platform. And they're all adding kind of a unit on there. Well, each teacher can go in there and see what the other teachers have added and get ideas for how can I improve my lesson.
Library media specialists and teacher are able to collaborate with resources that can be made available on those Moodle sites for the teachers in the social studies areas, for example, and or the students. So teachers and students who are given access to parts of the Moodle sites have access to those databases right there.
We also have a group of teachers who are putting together master courses, and so those, once they're developed, will be shared with all of the teachers who share that same grade level, who teach that same grade level, and that will give them an opportunity to look at what other teachers are doing. We'll have in the master site, other teachers will be able to contribute, and so we have a chance to really teach a blended class where we not only have that traditional, very rich face-to-face discussion with students, but they can continue those discussions and continue those interactive learning outside of the classroom.
If he says there's a project I should start working on or design that I need to change, I can do that right away when he says so, and I don't have to be sitting here with him.
Benefit number 3, simple storage. If there was one thing that the teachers in the old school excelled at, it was creating curriculum. You name it, they had it. Exercises, activities, lab notebooks, worksheets, textbooks, overhead notes, and handouts. Not to mention all the essays that students turned in. Now, don't get me wrong, the teachers in the old school were very organized. They had files and folders, file cabinets and folder cabinets, cabinet storage rooms, and storerooms for new cabinets. It was all very well and good until one wanted to find that one particular assignment from last semester. No, not the first version. That one had a couple typos and a confusing question prompt, said Miss Modification. I think I added some questions from the textbook and supplemented it with an internet article I had read one time. Now, where did I file that? They had multiple copies in various versions, all housed in different locations. Each teacher's curriculum was isolated. The teachers at the new school loved to create curriculum too, but each of their classes were created from a single master course. These meta-courses contained materials that their PLC group had agreed were the best that they collectively had to offer. Each semester, they would share what they had added or modified and vote on whether or not the changes should be included in the next version of the master course. They had a common curriculum that was a current, dynamic, living document saved in a single location, and plenty of storage space.
That I can go online and get it.
Coming in as a new teacher, especially I'm very geared towards technology, and so coming in, and it was amazing because everyone shared their best practices and their handouts with me, but they were all in folders, and I was so freaked out that I was going to lose these folders or
I can go online and get it.
We have this file, for example, in our English storage room. It's 12th grade resources from the district, and I don't know how many teachers have really walked down and opened that drawer and looked at those resources. versus a best practices site where they can go online at a click of a button. They have the electronic resource. They can modify it to meet their needs.
I can go online and get it.
And we have a library medium program manual, and it's 100 and some pages long, and Moodle has just been a great tool for having that manual right on the website.
I can go online and get it.
Benefit number 4, intelligent instruction. One thing that teachers in both PLCs agreed on was that all this hullabaloo wasn't really worth the comma in a run-on sentence if they couldn't use it to help their students. This was exactly what the teachers at the old school did. They delivered the curriculum during class, in between class, after school, before school, and sometimes even in the grocery store. "Excuse me, Jimmy," Mr. Math would say. "I realize that you're the cashier and I'm the customer, but I'm pretty sure that 5.5 ounces of kumquats at 60 cents per pound isn't $34, although I do appreciate you rounding down in this particular instance." Yep, those old school teachers did everything they could to make sure their students had opportunities to learn, but it was difficult. Interventions were disruptive, students' skill sets were stuck in the 20th century, and the curriculum was only available during school hours, if you include mornings, nights, weekends, and the last day of holiday break for students that somehow got your phone number. At the new school, the teachers felt the same way. There must be some way to use all this fancy technology to make the inclusion of enrichment and intervention activities seamless for our students, they would say. Or how will we ever teach 21st century skills during class when we have so much other material to cover, they would query. If only there were some way to make our curriculum available online all the time so the students who miss school won't be left behind and substitute teachers won't be confused, they bemoaned. It really would be too much to ask for an online learning environment to do all this too, wouldn't it? Nope.
The biggest thing is it's interactive. I mean, I can actually put an assignment on there and it can grade it for me. I can have forums on there. I can have content on there that students can interact with students outside of class.
My name is Nick Erlinson. I'm in Dr. Warner's AP English 12 class, and we've been using Moodle a lot recently. It's nice, really easy to use.
The advantages of Moodle over a classroom website is that it's so much more interactive. It has so many more possibilities.
In a normal class setting, I would probably have to, I'd have to do everything in the class on paper probably. Right. Whereas with this, you don't necessarily have to do it in class. You can work outside of class.
It's beneficial in that you can have the open forum discussion. It's good in that everybody can have a chance to speak their mind.
When you have a class of 22 students or 24 students, to give them enough time to really thoughtfully express their views or their analysis in front of their classmates and then respond to the questions and feedback that they get from their classmates is a very difficult thing to do in 50 minutes. That's about 2 minutes per student.
Moodle.
On Moodle.
Moodle,
Communicate.
Moodle.
On Moodle.
great tool.
Technology.
Thoughts and ideas.
Communication.
Communicate.
User-friendly.
Curriculum development.
Developing.
Wikis.
Benefits.
It's interactive.
Continuous dialogue.
Ideas.
Flexibility.
Definitely useful.
PLCs.
Gather information.
Collaboration. Moodle.
Moodle.
On Moodle.
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 Attention, experience, amazing.
When you click on the site, you saw a man, he was not that magic, not a Peter Pan. His circuits were not made in Japan. His name was Moodle Man! He's here to help you through the site, to give you some motivation, some technological delight. Now here we go, without further ado, it's Moodle Man, the Moodle helper dude.